So let's go live as we're back for episode 65 of Painting Up the Monster Manual. Hi everybody, how you doing? Hopefully you can all hear me. I'm going to keep an eye on chat. Let me know if the sound levels are fine, because I also need to double check Richard's, because hi Richard, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you? Can everyone hear me? Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear.
I'm going to wait the 10 seconds now and say Corianti says he can hear me fine. Richard's a little quiet, that's fine. Can you push your gain any further?
How's that? Is that better? Is that any better with the 10-second delay? Now the microphone's closer to my face.
Let's find out. Can hear you both astonishingly. Yeah,
Is that code for shut the fuck up, you retard?
probably. It's better. Okay, cool. We're gonna go with that. If it's too quiet, let us know and we'll see what we can do, because every week we're like, fucking Discord changes what it's doing. I never know what's happening. I'm just gonna turn the music down in my room a little bit. Okay, so we are here to deal with the Arch Hag. So you can see this beneath me in the window. This is one of the new stat blocks within the D&D 2024 handbook. And as we're working our way back through from A again, this is where something new is coming in once more. Richard, it's a CL21 creature.
The actual fork.
Yeah, so I'm glad we're not doing the combat, because there's a lot going on with it. But otherwise, we'll jump fully into the stat block about it in a minute. I'm going to get Richard to do a lot of what he thinks about it as well, because it's huge. It's humongous. But I've got this lovely mini from Warrior Prints 3D, your one-stop shop for all your 3D printing needs, from cosplay items, D&D minis, terrain and more. Richard, how's Warrior Prints 3D and how are you? Is there anything new going on at the moment?
Prince 3D is alright. I'm currently on the latter part of my holiday at the moment from killing myself slowly. We are going to be back with a bang in the next week. Lots of new bits and pieces going to be added to the store, lots of new pieces to come. There are going to be several new painted pieces as well up on the Instagram.
Ooh.
Because I've managed to get a few things painted, so they will be for sale. Possibly even opening up commissions in the future, but we will see on that. I've also got a couple of other painters that do work with me that will be willing to take on such things. We are also trying to move away from, move in a more positive direction towards minis and doing other bits and pieces. So one thing that will be coming about soon is the mini mystery boxes.
Yay!
Quite fun. So there will be themed mystery boxes, as well as mix and match. So one of our three main mini providers, more STL providers, are Flesh of Gods, Artisan Guild, and Cast and Play. So you'll be able to get a mystery box in all three, or individual breakdowns, bigger boxes as well. So that is our biggest project at the moment we are working on, just to try and get things a little bit more interesting, because sometimes there's a bit of a hard choice choosing the old minis, but
yeah,
that's going to be a good thing. And hopefully getting a few more events this year to meet some wonderful folks out there.
Same.
What about yourself? What's new at Dragonborn Industries?
We are...
I feel we talk about you enough, Ian. You know, we need to talk about you more.
I talk about me on every show way too much, but I will take the hook and I will bait in. We are plugging forwards with our podcast, with Starfinder podcast, with Bloodpunk, and with D&D the D&D 2024 show, as well as Painting Up the Monster Manual. We are like at the next cusp of pushing towards like the 100 episodes of this show, towards the next story arc now of Starfinder, and it's been an absolutely incredible journey. I think we're close to like 6,000 downloads on the podcast. It's been a wild ride, and yeah, just kind of like, now we're on the Easter holidays. I am still working, but I'm taking it nice and chill, which is kind of cool. And it's nice to engage with chat again, because I see you there, James. I see you there, Fluffy. I see you there, Dibs. Hope everybody's doing well. Dibs says he loves the t-shirt.
Hell yeah. Johnny Dad's out in t-shirt.
That's it. And yeah, we're hoping to get to UK Games Expo, which is in just over a month, really, isn't it?
Shit, is it that far away now?
It's end of next month, which is, yeah, really close. And our accommodation, our tickets are all bought and paid up. And yeah, now it's a case of just fuel and get there. Otherwise, we'd best look at this mini, and have you got an idea of how you're going to paint this up?
So yeah, this week I'm trying to do everything Citadel.
Okay.
So, obviously, previous weeks I've always used a mix of Army Painter, Vallejo, and a couple of little bits of Citadel. I thought I'm going to try and do this completely Citadel. So contrast, technical, and layer paints. I'm very much like how we painted one of the ghosts previously. I'm going to try and go for that sort of white, pallid flesh.
Okay.
So I'm going in with a bit of a Nighthawk gloom to start with. Working up with some Femrazine grey and pallid wick flesh, and yeah, lots of greys, browns, and dark colours, I think.
So I'm gonna hit it with Plague Bearer's Flesh over the white zenith for all of the skin. I'm then gonna use a green for the glow on the OSL of the spell. I'm gonna use Typhus Corrosion for the leather. Because I want it to be grimy and dirty and like rotten hide.
Yeah.
So I'm going rogue, baby, and then I might highlight.
I'm going well rogue. I don't even think I've got. Actually, that's Rattling Grime. I was going to go for that one. I haven't got that one, Typhus one.
Yeah, I think it's an older one. It took me ages to find it. But then I might hit the bottom up with a Basilicum Grey. I was going to get my Dirty Down moss, but I might save that for Saturday for when we paint with Craig. I'm going to maybe use some on this base. But who knows? So, realistically, let's get the timer ready. You've got 1 hour. Go. So, as we begin this wonderful paint job. Obviously, I mentioned earlier, this is a CR21 creature. This thing is fucking insane. This is could be a patron for your warlocks. It could be, especially like those Fey ones. It could be a major boss for a campaign. You know, we are talking like end game CR here. This is like the average party level is meant to be 21, when the highest level you can go is 20. So this is supposed to be, you know,
this is a full level 20 party 5. It is insane.
Yeah, exactly that. I'm going to take... Actually, no, you know what? I said I was going to do Plague Bearers first. I'm not. I'm going to do that Basilicum Grey first. Because I really want that too.
I have also got the hairdryer on standby because I'm determined to get this done in an hour.
Oh, God, I don't think I'm going to be able to. So, we're going to look first at the capabilities of the creature. I'm going to look at that big three, that same thing that I always talk about, which is, first of all, the AC of the creature. The AC is a 20. So, you know, relatively...
Straight off the bat, with an unadjusted armor class, that's quite a hefty thing.
It is, but I think that when you start seeing creatures of that sort, well, party members of like level 20-ish, and you consider that the barbarians in it probably have like a plus 12, plus 13 to hit. It's probably...
It's one of those things that's very adjusted, very good for it.
Yeah, so I think that that's not too bad. I think the thing that I immediately forgot with this creature is, because it's a spellcaster, its AC is bound to be lower. And I think that potentially, if you were to take something like a dragon at this level, or a fighter, a paladin, then I think that armor class is going to be a lot heavier. So I actually don't think it's all that bad. It's still, you know, a high AC to hit, but I don't know. We'll compare it to the rest of the things and see if that seems fair. Because when we look at the hit points, rules as written, 333, or 29d10 plus 174. 29d10 is 290. So then 390, 400 and, 60 odd hit points, 460 hit points if you were to max it. That's a lot.
That is a hefty chunk.
Yeah, that's a lot to cut through. We're talking like major crits needed. We're talking, huge other pools of damage needing to be dealt to this. Corianti says, what sets the Arch Hag apart from the regular Hag? Well, we'll find out in a minute, because I'm going to read the lore of it in a second, once we've been through the major bits of the stat block, and then we can talk about how we could properly implement it. I imagine it's kind of like an archmage. You know, they've spent years and years and years going through becoming a hag and, you know, going through like a raise in their power until the point where they sort of are the power.
Hag school.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the kind of biggest thing. But damage dealing potential, which is the final in the big three that I like to talk about. Obviously, it is a spellcaster. There's no getting away from that. But in terms of spellcasting, with its actions, it's got... it requires no material components. It uses charisma as the spellcasting's ability, and its spell save is DC 22, so that's quite high. It can do detect thoughts, dimension door, dispel magic, and hypnotic patterns, so they're very good effect spells, which are going to put conditions on people. And then we've got twice a day, it can use mass suggestion, modify memory, and plane shift. So if this thing gets into trouble, it can get away, which is huge, I think. That's, you know, being able to have a creature like this and be like, you know what, self-preservation does matter, time to run.
I tell you what I do love. So you've got the bonus action, which is the Witch Strike. Each creature cursed by the hag within 60 feet of it takes 14 4d6 lightning damage. And I love the fact that that's each creature within the range.
Yeah.
That's 60 feet. That's a potent amount. But
It is.
The reaction is what I really love. Tongue Twister. The hag casts counterspell in response to that spell's trigger. Using the same spellcasting ability as spellcasting, if the target fails its saving throw, it is cursed until the end of its next turn. Until the curse ends, the target can't cast spells with a verbal component, and when it speaks, it says the opposite of what it means.
I love that, because that adds an RP element into it as well. I really like that. That's very, very cool. So those spells that we talked about, they don't deal much in the way of damage. However, what Richard is saying with Witch Strike, 4d6 lightning damage plus another condition on top of it, I'm all about that. Because then we can look at, its actions. So it's got the multi-attack. The hag makes 2 spectral claw attacks and uses crackling wave. So that's 3 actions, followed by then the bonus action. So it's going Spectral Claw, which is a melee or ranged attack roll. It deals 3d6 plus 7 force damage. If the target is a large or smaller creature, it has the prone condition, so it also makes people prone, cutting down that speed. Followed by Crackling Wave, a dex save, a DC 22. Each creature in a 60-foot cone takes 5d12 lightning damage. Success for half. Failure, the target is cursed until the end of the hag's next turn. The target can't take reactions until the curse ends. Followed by the Witch Strike. This
is a beefy little minx, I think.
This thing is putting out conditions and damage, and then has an ability to put its own curses on, which then causes you to be subject to more of its own effects. That's fucking wild.
Do you know what? I think I wouldn't mind running something like this. There's like a one-shot, not adventure, but like a one-shot...
a high-level one-shot.
Yeah, high-level one-shot fight sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's nuts. Tack, hello everybody. Is it Thursday? No, because it's Lady Dragonborn's birthday tomorrow, we're doing this one today. Geeky comes in, just got to Solihull for an afternoon meeting. Hey Dak. And afternoon to everybody else.
I forgot that we were doing this today. I had to be reminded by Dib saying you're streaming today.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I was like, I came in this morning and like did the first roll of the day, as well as a sort of like, not like a cheeky reminder, but also to myself to be like, right, I've got to do this and I've got to set up now because I'm going to the skate park and I need to remember that I'm doing this. I'm just trying to get around all of those areas to get a really thin layer of Plague Bearer's flesh all over the skin tones for this hag, because I'm going to go down the green route. We've still got more on the stat block, however, because obviously you've spoken about the reaction Tongue Twister, which allows them to curse people, which is great, but legendary actions.
Legendary action. The uses are 3, 4 in a lair, which I like that. So Immediately after another creature's turn, the hag can expend a use to take one of the following actions. The hag regains all expended uses at the start of each of its turns. So you've got the hag's swipe. The hag makes one spectral claw attack, which is, I presume, further up that you can do. Yeah, spectral claw, which is the melee or ranged attack roll. Then you've got the malicious magic. The hag uses spellcasting to cast Dimension Door or hit the pattern. The hag can't take this action again until the start of its next turn, which is quite good to make it not too beefy.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. It's nuts that, again, the versatility on this particular thing is really, really good. Because it's also got traits as well. So when we look at all of that, that's all actions, reactions, and legendary actions. Now we've got traits. So the Coven Magic. While within 30 feet of at least 2 hag allies, the hag can cast one of the following spells requiring no material components, using the spell's normal casting time, using int as its spell casting ability, DC 19, Augury, Find Familiar, Identify, Locate Object, Scrying, Unseen Servant. The hag must finish a long rest before using this trait to cast a spell again. You know, like very much like the, you know, 3 witches looking into the pot to kind of like, which is what the image is, to, you know, foresee the future. Legendary Resistance. If the hag fails a saving throw, it can choose to succeed 4 a day or 5 in its lair. 5! That's more than Strahd! Magic Resistance. The hag has advantage on saving throws against spell and other magical effects. And Spiteful Escape. When the hag drops to 0 hit points, it dies only if it's within 30 feet of its anathema, a thing a DM chooses that the hag's most hated thing. Kind of like an anti-phylactery, I guess. Otherwise, the hag drops to 1 hit point and teleports to a harmless demi-plane and can't return to the plane it left for 2d6 days. When the hag teleports away, each creature within 60 foot of the space is left cursed. Until the curse ends, a creature has disadvantage on ability checks, saving throws, and the hag knows its location anywhere in the multiverse. That is fucking disgusting. Like, oh, kill me, I'll be back, don't worry. That's absolutely wild. So, but that does bring up a point, what Corienti mentioned earlier, about what are the other hags and what sets these things apart. So, obviously, like, it talks about having a coven there. So the Arch Hag must be the mother of the coven. When it comes to D&D 2024, that's what I would expect it to be. That seems to be what it is. Hey, little goblin girl. Hey, Steph, how you doing? Chat's on it today. How is everyone? So, let's read the actual Arch Hag. Tabard? No. It's not an epilogue or a prologue. It's lore, I guess, is the worst thing. Literacy girl, I need you. Immortal and unpredictable, Arch Hags hoard secrets and strike magical bargains, altering fate to indulge their fickle whims. These timeless schemers pursue the secrets of the multiverse and work strange magics in pursuit of their inscrutable goals. Arch Hags are unpredictable, self-interested, and greedy with their bizarre fascinations and affections. Nevertheless, they often make deals to further their plots. These hags are fonts of secret knowledge, particularly lore regarding forbidden magic and multiversal secrets. These might share their knowledge, but their secrets always have a price. In trade for their secrets, Arch Hags might request peculiar errands, vulnerable magic items, or valuable magic items, or preternatural currency. That's a word and a half, innit? Or the ability to cry. Oh, sorry. Natural currency, like one's memories or years of one's life, or the ability to cry. So basically giving up something of your very soul or being. Most Arch Hags avoid battle, but if forced to fight, they unleash dangerous magic such as spectral claws, arcing lightning, and mind-bending spells. An Arch Hag can curse other magic users, confounding the spellcasters' incantations and forcing the spellcasters to say the opposite of what they mean. Even if an Arch Hag is brought low in its preparations, allow it to magically slip away and begin plotting its revenge. Then you have the potential to have a layer, and this is where I would put something like a coven in. So each Arch Hag creates a magical home, such as a hidden demiplane, a mansion atop a storm cloud, or in the case of the Arch Hag Baba Yaga, a hut atop giant chicken legs. The interior of these layers frequently change or exhibit bewildering features. The region containing the Arch Hag's lair is altered by its presence, creating the following effects. So then we've got extra effects on top of the abilities. So lapsus lingua. Wow, I can't read that. Creatures, excluding the hag and its allies within 1 mile of the lair, subtract 1d10 from any ability check they make when they take the influence action. That's fucking nuts. Meddlesome magic. Whenever a creature other than the hag or its allies finish a long rest while within 1 mile of the lair, the next time the creature casts a spell or while using a spell slot, it also casts confusion centered on itself. The spell uses the creature's spellcasting ability and doesn't require concentration. And if the Arch Hag is destroyed or moves its lair elsewhere, these effects end immediately. There is so much to remember there.
Yeah. Tell you what, though, I would love this. If I was going to use this, it'd be a whole campaign thing. So it would be a patron.
Yeah.
Typical sort of thing. You know, either have it that the character's well aware that it's not a nice entity that's likely to use it up and deal with it, or have it as the typical sort of nice-looking patron, old womanly, fairy godmother sort of scenario that then slowly starts to unravel and become something incredibly heinous.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. So the Arch Hag is like the thing that cursed Not and Jester, fed a cupcake to, and changed her memory to reverse, not to curse. Exactly that. That was an Arch Hag. That would have been a 5e hag that Matt Mercer would have bumped up. And I think, and I was going to mention this earlier, that this is based off of that particular hag and that whole mass power and the ability to then take things. So I'm pretty sure in the original 2014, in the Legacy one, it doesn't say about the pre-natural, whatever how that is, gifts and abilities. But yes, Dibs, exactly that. Also, someone's been catching up the crit roll, which I like a lot. I really loved campaign 2, I really did. You're a crit roll fan? I'll take the silence as no and you hate them.
Can you hear me all right?
I can now, yeah.
Yes, I am a crit roll fan. Not quite as dedicated to them as the wife is. But yeah, we have seen them live.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Yes, likely would have been an Arch Hag. Yeah, it's a really cool creature design, to be honest. And I love that kind of fey evil nature to them, rather than just just being. I think they were a little lackluster in 2014.
Have always wanted to do a Baba Yaga though.
Yeah, have you seen the Loot Studios Baba Yaga hut?
Yeah.
Yeah, so many people sent it to me.
I've got it.
So have I.
But Rescale have also done a good Baba Yaga hut.
Okay, so maybe that's a special we do one day. That's an airbrush jobby for sure. Okay, so I'm getting the tones on there now. I'm going to get in and do everything with the speed paint first and the contrast. Then I'm going to come in and do all that typhus corrosion, because I think that will dry quicker. Hey, so we've got Lord of Cats and we've got Captain Spice. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome in. Hacked my favourite D&D lore, second only to the goddess Lolth. I am a fucking simp for Lolth. I don't know what it is, but for some fucking reason, I don't really like spiders, but then I see Lolth and I'm like, yeah, you know what? If I'm going to go, I'm okay with this. If I gotta go, I gotta go. Friggin' love the Baba Yaga hut. My absolute fave bit of, bit of Strahd. It's so good in Strahd. So very, very good. Right, I need...
This is Strahd, is it?
Yeah, so, there's inclinations that, Baba Yaga in Strahd is like his mum. It's never quite fully said, but she calls him her son every now and again and stuff like that. It's a weird... I'm not too sure, but she, is a big creature. Yeah, because when you play Curse of Strahd, there's, have you played Strahd?
I've played a I've played Strahd run by someone who shouldn't have run Strahd.
But you've not played the campaign?
Yeah, I've played the campaign.
Oh, okay. So you know that, like,
I went through the campaign with a Dwarf Paladin, and I killed the Lich, I killed a Beholder, and I killed Strahd in 4 rounds.
Nice. Yeah, it's so obviously with the Tarot deck, it sort of says like, here are the items that you could find on your quest, and this is where they are. So it changes every time you would go to play it. And one of the main things being is that, like, you could end up needing one of those items from Baba Yaga's hut. And yeah, you have to go there and search it potentially. And she flies around in a cauldron and is just fucking, you know, basically, who can deal damage to me? Guess what? Finger of death. Bang. She is a character killer.
I ran something similar for one of the big battles in my campaign. Wasn't quite 20th level, but it was an 18th level, because my characters were 14th, I think.
Yeah.
Or it was the other way around, and I had a witch that flew around on an upside-down giant raven skull.
Yep.
But only because I printed the thing out from Loot Studios.
Yeah. There you go. So Steph is in chat, and she's all over Strahd. It's like her favourite module. So in the revamped version, she is like implied to be as Nanny, with some extra lore without spoiling too much. Yeah, there you go. And that's kind of, yeah, the gist of it, really.
Steph likes the Baba Yaga. I might have a little present for you.
Steph, you like Baba Yaga, yeah? Richard said he's got a present for you. I also know that Richard, before the stream, and he's probably not going to say it right now, was talking about how he's catching up with the Starfinder campaign and is blown away by the fact that you do the ad reads so intently each week.
Oh, hell yeah. Thank you ever so much. That is incredible.
Yeah, Steph hasn't dropped the energy on them the entire way through. It's been fucking wild. Twitch, and if people are watching, we have thrown our hat in the ring for the Crit Awards this year. So we're currently in the nomination stages, where all you got to do is go to the Crit Awards, type it into Google. They'll give you a Google form to fill out. If you are a fan of the show or you just want to help us out, just go nominate us. It'll just ask you for the name of the show. If we match the criteria, like upcoming podcast in the first 2 years, which we are with that show, or legacy channel for YouTube being over 2 years, you know, we can be nominated for pretty much anything, as long as you can check it out and find the right links, which is all on our YouTube and so on and so forth, and just basically help us out, get us the nomination so we can move it hopefully into the voting stage, which would be awesome. And that would be a massive help, but only if you feel you want to. Nobody has to. We're not going to hold a gun to anyone's head and make them do it. I'm not Steph. Steph did that to me. That's why she's off today. Stress. Steph says she loves Baba Yaga. And I'm glad you're enjoying them, Rich. Oh, yeah, the things. Yeah. Yeah, so it's really fun that Steph's been doing those.
I also feel I need a giant TJ for my desk, just because, with his glasses on, because that'd be awesome.
Fluffy, Coriente's just gone to put the Crit Awards link in, and Nightbot stopped them. Could you potentially sort that out, please? Steph Regal. So we've joked about that, I think, before on the channel. And I think literally before the campaign, I did joke around with Steph and say, I kind of want you to be my Sam Regal. Yeah, we're not trying to emulate Crit Roll, but there are going to be things that fall in line, and it was quite funny because Steph fits that role so fucking well. She is so good at it.
It's fucking awesome.
There you go, Dibs. That was the brief Ian gave me when he tasked me with them. Right, I'm going to start banging on some Typhus Corrosion. So I've got 37 minutes, you know?
Actually, we have more time.
Right. I've nearly got the base layers done. Yeah, sorry, we'll get on laptop and sort out Nightbot. Thank you so much. I've missed a foot with the Plague Bearers as well. Oh, I tried to vote for you, but didn't feel comfortable giving them the info they wanted from me. Oh, okay, is it not just the email address to log in, Dak? That's all I had to give them when we voted for the Alberon guys. Which, by the way, for people who haven't, I know there was Fallout chat earlier, go check out Alberon RPG over on YouTube and on their Twitch. But on their YouTube, you can find their 4 sessions for the Fallout game. And it was really cool. Really, really cool. I've been saying to Beardy all this time that you've been doing improv stuff. That's awesome. Hey, there's Captain Spice from Alberon. Everyone, this is Ollie. Ollie, this is the channel. I know we see you quite regularly now, but just so people can see and chat to you. They run an awesome D&D stream. They run an awesome Starfinder stream. They're over in Boston in the US. So, Richard.
So, Ian.
How would you implement this creature, like, properly? I know you said about, like, a patron and a whole campaign, but, like, would that be just around, like, one character? Or would you base the whole campaign around this?
It would be one of those that I would base a whole chapter and arc around with the campaign. So when I've got, like, multiple characters, I try and do a couple of threads at once, or one big thing for a character, for the main arc of it that involves the others, and they have to, go with it and sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Because what I like about the hags is they sort of like weave fate, and I like the idea that all of the characters in that kind of like thing that we do in D&D, where they're all brought together, then tavern meet, and then all of a sudden it's like it's fate, and they're all supposed to be together, and that it could be the case that this hag has been weaving it together this whole time, or the gods are trying to weave it against the hag, and I really quite like that. I think that's the way I would go.
I would also do it that to get to the hag would be a case of you've got to get through the coven.
Yes.
So you have like a multi-planed possible encounter.
Yeah.
You'd have to go through, you'd have to work your way through and actually be able to get to her.
I think what that does as well is, because what we've seen with the stat block is that it's a variable stat block, which means that like things can change, and it says if in a coven, so coven magic works with the rest of the coven. So you could have the coven as the pre-boss fight, but if they get away, then the hag gets the coven, and they could be lower health or whatever, or just regular hags. But the fact that they're like essentially high powerful minions for you to take off, I like that. I like that a lot.
I would also obviously put in the opportunity to be able to learn about such creatures.
Yeah.
To have the opportunity to have the right items.
Yeah, absolutely. To like give them the prep and stuff like that. I mean, God forbid you have players that just go, okay, we've learned everything we can do here, and then just leave, or go attack things without any prior thought. Okay, so my base layers are pretty much all on. I'm actually going to grab some of that typhus for the bracelets and stuff as well. How's it going with yours?
Flesh and cloak done again.
Oh, I love the blues. Is that Nighthaunt Gloom?
Yeah, but then dry brush with Fenrisian Grey and Blue Horror.
Oh, that's cool. I like that a lot. So, I'm missing a lot of chat here. My apologies, guys. Hey, from Captain Spice. Ollie from Alberon RPG over here. Yes, you are. Right. Is that all of those? I know we've got the bracelet or the anklets as well. I also like the idea that these could be like some kind of like what was once a druid that turned into becoming a hag, or took a boon before and maybe they've now overtaken the hag that gave them their power.
Oh yeah, lots of pretty to do with it.
I think a creature like this opens itself up to that fairy tale storytelling that you can do in so many different ways. And I think that's kind of one of the fun aspects of this creature is that the stat block is one thing, but the idea that like having players speak in reverse and stuff like that is like an RP change. But then you can go into like, you don't have to follow the lore of the book. You can quite literally be like, yeah, I'm going to do it this way, or I'm going to build this up. And I think this creature lends itself to, like you said, essentially campaign writing, not just one bad guy somewhere in the Feywild, or anywhere really.
What are we thinking for eyes on this one?
So they've got these like solid black eyes in the picture by the look of it, and I quite like that. So I might go with that. It does remind me that I need to work out the face. So let's grab. I'm gonna grab some bone.
Blasting out the artist's opus so I can actually reach the bloody eyeballs.
Yeah. Right, I need a liner brush or something long. I'm gonna water down some bone and get that over the teeth.
So I've gone in with rattling grime on the teeth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to have like that dirty, bloody mouth look, and then I'll pick out some of the teeth in Ujabati bone.
Yep. Right, I am going to go black on the eyes. I'm going to get out some. Oh, where's my matte black? There it is.
Whoop.
What is everybody up to today? We've got half term here in the UK, so I've been down the skate park with the kids this morning. I'm hopefully releasing a video that me and Jack did on Monday night before Starfinder, unboxing something from our very own moderator, Geeky Phoenix. Yeah, I'm just going to paint the voids of those eyes just completely black.
Something rather beautiful that I'm wanting to do an unboxing with this afternoon.
Oh, yeah? You're going to do that for Instagram?
Gonna try to at least.
Nice. I look forward to it. Put the first layer of rimming down.
To give it a good old fashioned rim.
Give it a fashionable rim. Ooh. Yeah, there's definitely bits of this I've missed so far. Dibs, I'm painting some hill giants that I got from Warrior Prince 3D, and the colour scheme overdone would go awesome with Arch Hag. Nice.
Oh, I tell you what, you wait till you see the picture of those giants, they're bloody beautiful.
Which giants are those? Which collection are they from?
It's the giants from the Cast and Play collection.
Ah, right, okay, yeah, they're really cool.
The colour scheme and paint job Dibs done on them is awesome. Incredibly so.
Right. Just trying to tidy up the rim a little bit before I go picking out the bones on there.
Yeah, you don't want a messy rim, mate.
No. Got a nice clean rim. Okay, so, I don't speak French. Steph, you speak French. What are they saying? Salut, that means hello. Comment, ça va? Comment, please.
Ça va, how are you?
I don't know, but Steph speaks French. What's up? Bonjour.
I'm from Bruce Willis' school of languages. I can do English and bad English.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Fifth Element's a great film. So, I'm going to grab our bone colour. But we're good, we're painting up the Arch Hag. We are currently... I don't know if I'll be tabletop ready because it's still quite messy and I want to go in and pick out some details, but I've certainly got the base layers now done, which I didn't expect to have done.
How long have we got left?
26 minutes?
I might be tabletop ready.
Really?
Yeah, I'm chugging through.
Are you, I do Del Boy French. Yeah, me too. Are you employing any particular techniques for it then that are speeding you up?
So I am. It's basically been contrast, dry brush, and hairdryer. So hairdryer's been pretty handy so far.
Nice. So many little details as well on this mini. Which is rather frustrating, to be honest. Richard, with your high quality 3D prints.
So I roll, baby.
I might actually have to dry brush some of that bone on. Everyone's waving. Waving away in chat, which is what we like. So, we've got somebody out there painting. Steph's off ill.
Oh no, what's up, Steph?
Bronchitis, baby, innit? Said it in chat earlier. Where's my... There it is. What's everybody else doing? James, I presume you've got a protected day today, and you're meant to be at home. Oh my God, Steph's talking in French. Jesus, I'm out. Le translate. Le translate. About to go to work, Spice. What time is it over there with you? Imagine it's early morning, right?
So glad that the microphone can't pick up my darling son in the other room as he's screaming at Roblox with his friends. Quite hilarious, my friends.
Is it a holiday over there? Yeah, so we're on what we call, well, we're on full term for Easter. So obviously I know that the school holiday times are shorter for summer in America, I believe. But yeah, Easter we get 2 weeks off for kids. 7:42 a.m. early morning. But parents are still working, so luckily, like, my kids are down at the house with my wife, and we work from home anyway. Richard, who also works from home, is now like got them in the other room. It's just like, stand there.
It was even worse because I forgot about today. So I did have my youngest on the sofa here in his little nest watching his telly.
Oh, bless him.
Right, segue. You, bugger off.
Daddy time now. I'm gonna paint on the internet. Right. I think I now just have to wait for this to dry a little bit more, really. How would you highlight Plague Bearer flesh?
Depends what your end colours you're going for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would you dry brush or would you real highlight?
I'd probably dry brush because it's a contrast paint and obviously trying to get this done in an hour.
Are you trying to go more green or grey?
Like pale necrotic flesh, so I guess greens, maybe a little grey, I'm not really too sure, to be honest. What would you suggest?
I'd say it would be a green, then a light greying if you're wanting to make it more dead looking.
Yeah?
I think, maybe.
Sort of like necrotic flesh.
Yeah, something like that.
Let's give it a go.
Should
You
be
get
a good giggle.
2 days for Easter holiday. We get 2 weeks. Yeah, it's 2 weeks at Christmas, 2 weeks for Easter, and then there's a week in October and a week in February, and then 6 weeks from July to September. And that's the gap between the year groups. Or moving up a year.
School.
Or school. Okay. Let's...
I'm going to have to use one colour in army painter because I've got no black in system.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's weird where the typus corrosion's gone on to, because it looks like I haven't thinned down paints or I've left it streaky, but it's just where, like, it's a textured paint.
Yeah.
But I'm going to dry brush over that with oak brown in a minute. It's not bad. 20 minutes left. I might be tabletop ready if I can do that oak brown well enough. Right. Have any of you used an Arch Hag or a Hag as a major bad guy before in your D&D campaigns? Have you fought one? We take the chocolate break very seriously over here. Correct. Egg-shaped chocolate is the best chocolate. Nurgling green. I don't have Nurgling green. Your kids must love it. Yeah, it's really good. I think they get a bit bored after a while, believe it or not, but I think kids are expected to do so much during school time, and it's just like, to get a 2-week break is such a relief. Right. Oak brown, here we go. Let's grab another dry brush. I haven't used one, but I live with one. Right. You may or may not have put a hag into Pals and Gals and Pals. You just like to see people die. I'm hoping that once the oak brown goes on, it will make it just look really manky and old in those recesses.
Sorry, say that again.
I'm hoping that when the oak brown goes on, it will make it look really manky and old in the recesses.
Yeah. I tell you what, do you know what the only thing I'm worried about in this is the bloody jewellery. I've been trying to sort of do it, you know, blues, greys and stuff, and I'm like, I do the bangles and that gold, and I don't know how well it would look.
I've done them brown. I've done them as like little leather straps and stuff. There are multiple ways to approach it. It doesn't have to end in misery. I don't know. Right. So, what's next? Really do with highlighting the bones and stuff that she's wearing. Maybe I'll be tabletop ready. Maybe. We've still got 17 minutes.
Okay, I'm a little less worried now.
How's yours going?
It's alright, there you go.
Oh, I love that Tesseract against the blues and greys. That's awesome. That's very cool.
If I get a chance, I'll airbrush just a slight OSL, but I know I can't do it with bloody paintbrush.
Yeah, we definitely don't have time for that.
Right, necklace and bracelets are now blown. Wood. It is decided.
So, let's... Just trying to make sure I get that rope painted up, because I want to go over it with a sepia. Hopefully blend it into what we've done so far. Hopefully it'll break up that dress that she's wearing a little bit more. Give us that separation between different areas of the cloth. Right.
Should we check the chat again?
You always worry about being tabletop ready, but what are the definitions between being tabletop ready? So for me personally, it's the mini is fully covered. There's no area that's not been painted. It's recognizable as that particular creature. It doesn't need to be the neatest paint job, but you want it to be painted enough that, you know, when you put it down, people are hopefully going to be like, oh, cool.
That's a red dragon.
Yeah, exactly, rather than that's a grey lump of plastic or a 3D print. So, I mean, you could say that that is tabletop ready, but I want to go a bit further and get a few extra details on there because we've got the time. Right. Dry paint and glue. Yeah, pretty much. Right, where is my Agrax Earthshade?
I can't believe I forgot to paint her earlobes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, annoyingly so. I didn't manage to get the night one on them.
So I'm doing an Agrax Earthshade and I'm doing a finger dab to take away some of the top pigments. Just so we get some of that lighter colour coming back through again. A piece is tabletop ready when the artist says so. Yeah, pretty much. And I think that that's actually something to bear in mind for anybody who maybe doesn't paint or is getting into mini painting is, as long as you're happy putting it down on the table, and you're like, yep, that's the representation of the creature, then there you go, that's it done. So... Did you say finishing off like necrotic flesh with like a light grey?
Yeah.
God, which light grey?
You got some of the pallid, like the pallid flesh greys.
I don't know.
Or have you got like a dead white?
What's dead white?
Literally, there's an army painter paint called Dead White.
Oh, no, I don't. I wonder if I could mix ash grey with it?
Ash grey is quite a blue one, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it is. What have I got in AK? Let's have a look. There's like a greenish white, but that seems quite pastel-y to me. Yeah, then there is this ivory again, which is very white but slightly off. Then we've got rock grey and grimy grey, which is sort of like maybe the grimy grey.
What's on the right?
This one.
I realise I'm looking at bloody Twitch now. Yeah, so as I look at it, there's the one on the right. Yeah, that looks a little bit more cold. Yeah.
That one.
The one you're tapping, yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'll give that a go. If this fucks up, it's all Richard's fault. Try a bone colour. It's not a bad shout as well, actually, to be honest. Oh, let's see what happens.
Just see if you can do like a really light dry brush in a place that doesn't matter too much.
Yeah.
That you can easily fix if it's shit. Which, trusting me on colour things, could very well, lead you down such paths. How long we got?
10 minutes. I'm
Gonna be ready.
going to go big or go home. I'm going to take that grey and I'm going to dry brush it over a lot of this. Hair, skin, the works.
Dude, I said small patch.
I heard go big or go home. And since I'm already home, I can't go there.
Just go big.
Oh, but then the bone colour could work over the brown. Why don't I go in the middle and mix them?
Work out with your cock out, mate. It'd be good.
I'm going with the greige.
2 seconds.
Right. Yeah.
It would be the sort of beast I'd put down though, and it would be like a case of, right, I want at least one character death.
What, this mini? Oh, this character.
This that's not the monster.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what I would call a character sniper. You are hunting down at least one character death with this fucking creature. Especially at like slightly lower levels. It's absolutely deadly. Where's my big brush gone? There it is. So I'm going to come back in with the Agrax. Over the leathers. While avoiding, hopefully, everything else that we dry brushed for those. Okay. I think I'm going to take some very thin plague bearers in the last sort of 5 minutes, and I'm going to like re-put in some shadows into like the joints.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah. Where's that lovely liner? Just put some of that in the mouth, and then let's grab that skeletal horde. Not skeletal horde, plague bearers. You can tell we're in the last 5 minutes. We've gone very quiet.
Say that again, sorry.
So you can tell we're in the last 5 minutes. We've gone very quiet.
Oh, yes. I'm determined to get this done.
I think I'm there. Just trying to get like some of those heavier greens back into the joints and... Right.
How long we got?
Just under 4 minutes.
Shit, it's going to be dicey.
Oh, because D&D.
Unintended fun.
They're the best kind. So what I'm doing is what I'm attempting to do here is to put on the plague bearer's flesh, and then I'm finger wiping away the tops.
Okay.
Hoping that that leaves it in the recesses enough, while also giving me that mottled, gross skin, and bringing those greys back to the top. I think I might put some red in that mouth. So here we go. Put some flesh tearers in there. Just trying to get it around the edges a little bit. Get those bloody gums going. Need to re-black the eyes again. Just over 1.5 minutes, Richard.
You just shout out a time and then to me.
1.5 minutes.
Shit.
Just under.
Quickest for me in life.
I think I'm done. I like the runestone at the top of the staff that I've just completely missed.
I'm done.
Oh, 16 seconds. I'm not going to get those feathers done.
But you missed the feathers?
Yeah. Can I get a blue in time?
Go, 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 go!
No!
You can do it! I believe in you!
No, I missed it. So, the Arch Hag. Big creature, big CR. A lot going on. Were you able to get it tabletop ready in the hour?
Yes, I was.
Let's see what you did. Oh, look at that. I love that blue. That Nighthawk Gloom really works well on that, doesn't it? That's very awesome. Very, very awesome. For myself,
I love the way you went on the green and the skin and that. That's beautiful.
well, the necrotic flesh actually really did help, and actually mixing the bone colour with the grey from you and Dibs really did make a difference. And I think the Typhus Corrosion.
Fuck yeah.
What
What base is that? That's one of the. That's not his base.
No, I found it and I was like, yeah, I'm using that one.
Yeah, it's fair enough because that's the Daybreak Miniatures base.
There you go. Well, I used that one because it had bones on it, and I was like, I like it. And yeah, so very different approaches from them both. I'm still trying to get that like black, greasy hair and the face to be that horrid hag, but definitely more of a forest one. And I think because of the horns, that's the way I wanted to go. But I really like what you did with yours and the blues. I think that's amazing. So definitely both tabletop ready. Again, it's one of those miniatures that you could go in and spend hours and hours and hours on. And I think if it was a campaign boss for me, I absolutely would. But otherwise, yeah, for saying that was a majority of contrast paints today, I'm pretty happy with what I achieved. And yours looks fucking incredible.
Likewise.
So that's the Arch Hag. Hopefully you learned something about the new D&D 2024 Arch Hag with the whole reactions with Tongue Twister and the bonus actions of the Witch Strike, the Cursors, and hopefully you'll implement those in your games. If not, good luck if you have to face them as a player. Otherwise, that's actually it from us today. Hopefully you have a fantastic rest of your week. Enjoy your Easter holidays if you're here in the UK, and if you're over in the States, enjoy
Something.
2 days off apparently. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much. Dib says, well done, lads. Have a great day, guys. May the dice gods be ever in your favour. We'll see you around.